Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss Chapter 11 Thermodynamics, Class 11 Physics. We will be discussing about a system, surroundings, then boundary, adiabatic wall as well as diathermic wall in this video. We will be discussing all other topics of this chapter in the coming videos which will be available in the playlist. See, what is thermodynamics? See, thermodynamics, it is actually a branch of physics which deals with the study of heat, temperature, etc. And what is a system and its surroundings? See, a thermodynamic system, it is a certain quantity of matter or an assembly of molecules having certain values of pressure, volume, temperature, which is separated from its surroundings by a real or imaginary boundary. See, this system that can be in solid state, that can be in liquid state, or that can be in gaseous state. Now, what about surroundings? Everything outside a thermodynamic system, that is its surroundings. That is, let us consider two examples to know more about the system and surroundings. That is, for example, let us consider the hot coffee in a cup. So, when we consider this hot coffee in a cup, you see, this hot coffee, that is the system. And the cup, the air, the table, everything around this hot coffee, that is actually the surroundings. Okay, now if you consider a pressure cooker, the food, the water, the steam inside the cooker, that is actually the system. And the cooker walls, stove, kitchen, etc. that is actually the surroundings. So everything outside a thermodynamic system, that is the surroundings. Now we want to know about boundary. See, the real or imaginary surface that separates the system from its surroundings, that is actually called as boundary. There are mainly two types of boundaries. One is adiabatic boundary, another one is diathermic boundary, or adiabatic wall, diathermic wall. You see, adiabatic wall or adiabatic boundary, that is actually an insulating wall that does not allow the flow of heat energy from the system or between the system and surroundings. That is, the adiabatic wall or insulating wall that prevents the transfer of heat between system and its surroundings. For example, if you consider the flask, thermos flask, there is a vacuum layer between the walls of a flask. That is, you will be having a flask in your home, no? So when you consider that flask, if you have hot water in it, it will remain hot for a long time, right? Why? Because there is no transfer of heat energy is taking between the air around it as well as the hot water or whatever it is inside the flask. So such a wall of that flask, that is actually an example for an adiabatic wall. That is, when you consider the thermos flask, the vacuum layer between the walls prevents heat transfer between the system and the surroundings, that keeps the hot things hot and cold things cold. Similarly, if you consider the ice box, the insulated walls of an ice box prevent heat transfer between the system and the surroundings. That is, it actually prevents heat from entering or escaping to the ice box or from the ice box, and maintains a constant temperature inside the ice box. Okay, so such an insulating wall which prevents the transfer of heat between system and surroundings, that is actually an adiabatic wall. Similarly, we have another type of boundary which is diathermic wall or conducting wall. See, diathermic wall, it is actually a conducting wall that allows heat energy flow from one system to another system or from one system to the surroundings. Such a conducting wall, that is actually known as or called as a diathermic wall. It allows the transfer of heat between the system and the surroundings. For example, if you consider a metal pot on a stove, you see, the metal allows heat to transfer from outside it, that is from the flame, to the water inside. So this metal wall, that is actually a diathermic wall. And if you consider a glass of hot water, when you touch the glass surface, you can feel the hotness over there. So the glass wall that conducts heat and allowing the outer surface to feel warm. So the glass wall, that is actually an example for a conducting wall or a diathermic wall. Okay. So in this video, we have just learned the basic concepts of this chapter thermodynamics. We have just discussed about the system surroundings, then adiabatic boundary and diathermic boundary. We will be discussing all other concepts in the coming videos. Everything will be available in the playlist. Thank you.